back, everyone. My name is Souad. If you guys already know, I teach you guys how to wholesale real estate absolutely free. Today, we're going to be talking about a very, very important subject, and it's probably what's stopping you from closing your first deal: how to find motivated homeowners, right? How to get your first deal, how to find someone that's actually interested in selling. The focus on this part is really going to be the free ways to find motivated homeowners. I'm going to show you guys the 3 best ways to find the motivated homeowners, and I'm going to actually show you guys step by step on my computer software, systems, websites that you can use that will help you do this absolutely free. So let's get started, and I'll see you guys towards the end with a special message. What is wholesaling? If you guys want this presentation, you can go on wholesalediscord.com and then you hit up right here at resources, the WD presentation, and it takes you right here. It's free. There's contracts, there's scripts, absolutely free to use. It's right on the website, wholesalediscord.com. So first off, what is wholesaling? Wholesaling is the process of finding and contracting a property with a motivated seller and then assigning the contract to a buyer for a fee. So in plain English, it is truly just finding someone that's interested in selling. They're usually motivated due to financial, personal, whatever the case may be, but they're in trouble and they want the house gone, whether it's an inheritance, whether it's a pre-foreclosure, whatever the case may be, they're stuck and they want the house gone. And you come in, giving them an offer, you lock it up under a contract. The contract is called the purchase and sales agreement. This is a contract between you and the homeowner. Once it's locked up, you are going to then find an investor, a flipper, a cash buyer, a landlord, whatever you want to call them. Whoever is willing to pay cash for the property, you're going to assign the contract to them for more than what you got it for. So if you locked up a property for $200,000, you're going to then assign that contract for $210,000, $215,000, $220,000 and get that $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 assignment fee. That is yours to keep. Key points. Wholesaling is a way to make money in real estate without actually buying or owning a property. For those that are first starting in real estate, this is one of the best ways to build capital in order to jump into different real estate strategies. So you want to go into fix and flip, you're going to need a deposit to put on a property to purchase it and potentially fix it and sell it. Wholesaling is the way to build the funds in order to have that deposit. You want to do the BRRRR method, same thing. You want to buy rental units. You need capital in order to put a down payment. And wholesaling is one of your quickest, easiest ways to get in the game. Wholesaling acts as intermediaries between sellers and buyers and earn a profit from the assignment fee. Wholesaling requires marketing skills, negotiating skills, and knowledge of the real estate market. This is absolutely true. A lot of people come into wholesaling thinking all they need to do is the steps that they think they hear: find a property, lock it up, get it on the contract, and then find a buyer. There is a lot more that goes into it. Wholesaling is a numbers game. The more people that you reach out to, the better chances you're going to get a yes. I'm going to say it one more time. The more people you contact, the more people you text, the more people you call, the better chances of you closing a deal. If you're calling 10 people a day, it's going to take you a while to close a deal. I'll tell you that. If you're calling hundreds, you're on the right track, because that's how wholesaling works. The steps itself are simple, right? Find a homeowner that's interested in selling, give them an offer, lock it up, find a buyer. But it's finding a homeowner that's interested, that's the hard part. And that's where a lot comes into play. So we're going to be talking about the different lead generation ways. I'm going to be putting all of them out on the table for you guys. And then whichever route that you feel most comfortable in doing is the route that you go for. Right. Finding motivated homeowners. We talked about this. A homeowner who's a seller who is eager to sell their property quickly, often due to financial or personal reasons. Wholesalers need to be able to find motivated homeowners in order to secure profitable deals. Wholesalers can use a variety of marketing strategies such as direct mail, online ads, and networking to reach potential sellers. Wholesalers can also work with real estate agents, attorneys, and other professionals to identify motivated sellers in the area. Now, strategy number 1, and the one that I'm going to start with, is driving for dollars. And the reason for that is it's actually the way that I got my first deal. So I'm a big believer in it, which, if it worked for me, might work for you. I know a lot of people that it works for. I know a lot of people that also don't fully believe in it, but driving for dollars is one of the greatest ways, especially if you are low on funds. So driving for dollars involves physically driving around neighborhoods and looking for distressed properties or a sign of motivation, such as overgrown lawns, boarded up windows, or for sale by owner signs. Take note of the property address and contact the owners to inquire about selling. Be respectful and empathetic in your approach, as many distressed homeowners may be going through a difficult situation. Right? So what is driving for dollars? It's literally as it sounds. You're driving around, you're looking for distressed property. So this is boarded up windows, overgrown grass, usually a junk car in the yard. In the wintertime, you could look for who's not shoveling their snow, mail pile up. There's so many different signs. And a lot of it is kind of like common sense. Like, what makes you think that a house might be empty on the inside or a house might be distressed? And usually if the exterior is in distress, the interior is probably the same way, right? If it looks ugly on the outside, it's probably even uglier in the inside. So pick a neighborhood is step one. I highly, highly recommend you pick your own neighborhood. And the reason for that is no one knows your town better than you. And if you don't, that should be your first step, right? That should be your homework. Figure out what parts of town are the best. Figure out what parts of town are selling the most, are selling the least, where people are moving away from, where people are moving to. That should be step one. Figuring out if your market, the market that you want to target. If you're doing virtual markets, this is where you do your homework on those virtual markets. For me, I'm not the biggest fan of virtual markets just because I do prefer being a lot more hands-on. And a lot of the times you can pick one town, but one street can be completely run down. It can be like very cheap, can be, I guess, whatever the case may be. And then the next block over can be the $1 million area, right? But you're not going to be able to know that because you don't live in that area. You're really just focusing on, what you saw online or what you saw on your computer when you were doing research. But when you live in the area, you know that street, when you cross that river, when you cross that town, or when you cross this, you don't want to live there, right? No one goes there after 6 p.m. No one goes there during. So that's why I always say pick your own neighborhood. If you're in the areas where you can't wholesale, right? So there's going to be 3 different areas where it's a little bit more difficult to wholesale because there is more regulations. The first one is going to be the state of Illinois. You can only do one wholesale deal a year. So if you live in Illinois and you did 1 year, I understand why you're doing virtual markets, right? Because you can only do one a year. So now you want to go to the next state over. Maybe you want to do Wisconsin or Minnesota or Indiana. That makes sense. If you're in Pennsylvania, the city of Philadelphia requires a wholesaling license. It costs about $200. You take an exam, and now you can wholesale real estate legally in Philly. The rest of Pennsylvania is fine. It's just Philly, and it's a quick license. The next one is Oklahoma. You need a real estate license to wholesale real estate. So for that one, if you live in Oklahoma, you might have to pick a different location. So those are the only 3 as of now. But keep in mind, rules and regulations are changing. So you want to keep up to date with that. And the best way is really just a quick Google search. There's a lot of like bigger pocket forums, which is like a website for real estate investors to connect with one another. But as of now, it's just the 3: Illinois, Philly, and Oklahoma.
So people from Chicago can only flip one house a year? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and then they need a real estate license.
That is ridiculous. There are so many vacant houses in Chicago alone. I mean, forget the rest of the state. That is why. Anyone here from Illinois, from that area? Maybe not. I know we have a couple of clients from there, but I didn't know it was that drastic. That's nuts.
Yeah, Illinois is crazy with it. But yeah, they're the only ones, and it's weird because they only allow you one. So they know it works, but they only allow you one.
How do they keep track of this stuff?
Probably title companies. Or you can do open different LLCs, maybe something like that. I'm pretty sure there's a hack to it.
Robert is from there. I feel for you, man. That is some wild stuff. Gotta be unconstitutional in some way. Not allowed to live and thrive. Crazy.
Absolutely.
Sorry, mine got blown.
So for driving for dollars, pick a neighborhood, drive by, familiarize yourself, look for the stress property, take some notes and pictures, skip trace it, and market it to your list. Now, skip tracing is a big one, and maybe we'll cover it later on in this, but let me just do you guys a really quick one. True people search. If you're
in front of the property, right? And you see the house, it looks distressed, you want to figure out who owns it. First step should probably do tax records. So just so you can get the correct name. And I'm going to tell you guys why. So for New Jersey, we literally just have to write New Jersey tax record on Google, and this is what comes up. And then you can pick any. I'm going to pick just a random area really quickly, and then we're going to search. Now this is giving me all the properties in Bogota, New Jersey. But this is the owner, right? Sarah Martinez is the owner for this property. So let's search this up on True People search. Address search, Bogota. Let's see if it comes. All right. So the reason that I want to go on tax records first is because I don't know who the actual owner is. And you see, I posted it on True People search, and the first person that came up was an Elizabeth Martinez. And it might be the daughter because the same last name, but I want the actual owner. So the actual owner is this one, Sarah Martinez. This is the current address. No phone numbers for this one. So this one's probably not a good example just because we don't have a phone number. But if we wanted, we can reach out to other family members. I know that this one, Elizabeth Martinez, probably her daughter, lives in the area, same last name, comes up with this address. I'm going to reach out to her as well, if that was the case. Let's go on the next one. Let's just give an example of one. Let's do this one. Hopefully we can get a phone number with this one. All right, 482 River Road. 482 River Road is by Orlando Diaz. Let's see. And we got a phone number. Last reported June 2023. So it's really recent. So you're not going to get a unknown number or whatever the case may be. So if you're driving for dollars and you come across a property, you drove by 482 River Road in Bogota, it looked distressed, you wanted to know who owns it, go on your tax record site, figure out who the owner is, and then go on True People search and figure out what the phone number is, and then give them a call. This is like the manual way. This is using absolutely no funds. This is absolutely free. You've done it right then and there. Typically, you want to create like a bigger list. If you're driving for dollars, you want to have at least 30, 40 properties every single day that you drove around, right? Create a big list of maybe 100, 200, and then skip trace it with an actual software. It does it in minutes. You can go on Wholesale Discord, skip trace it for literally 6 cents, which is half the cost of any other software out there. But if you are low on funds, which is fine, you know, I first started out with literally nothing in my pocket. This is how I did it. Literally True People search and tax records. And for this one too, so some people might not have access to tax records or don't know how to do it. For this property, the owner was actually the first one that came up on the True People search site. Orlando Diaz, first one. So this is the free way to do things. That's driving for dollars. The next one that I kind of want to talk about is public county records. Now, this is one of the best ways to find leads. The reason for that is you're going straight to the source. You're calling your county clerk's office, and they're giving you access to information that not everyone has access to, right? Public records and foreclosure lists can be valuable sources of information for finding motivated homeowners. Monitor public records for properties with liens, tax delinquencies, or code violations, as these may indicate a motivation to sell. Keep an eye on foreclosure lists to identify homeowners who may be facing financial distress and could be motivated to sell quickly. These are the 3 that we're going to be targeting. First one is tax delinquent, a list of properties that are delinquent on their utilities and or taxes. Please provide the full addresses, name, as well as balance owed. So this is what you're going to tell your county clerk's office, right? Please provide the full address, name, as well as balance owed. The reason that we want the reason why we want the address and name is so that we can actually pinpoint the tax records and get the best skip tracing, right? If you have just the address, you might come up with multiple phone numbers because there's multiple people in that address. If you have the name and the address, it kind of specifies the list when you're skip tracing so you can get an accurate phone number. The reason that we want the balance as well is some people, you know, must have missed a month, you know, and doesn't mean that they're in trouble, doesn't mean that they're in financial distress. They may have missed a month. And those aren't the people that I want to prioritize. I want to prioritize the people that owe 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. Those are the ones that are in trouble. Those are the people that I want to target. Those are people that I want to call first. Eventually, I'm going to call the entire list anyway, but I want to target the ones that are actually in trouble. The second one is code violations. A list of properties with code violations on them for the last 6 months. You want it to be recent. Again, same thing. Please include the full address and owner's name. So for public county records, I know I'm going to get this question. How do I get them, right? First step, call your county clerk's office. Every state, every county is going to be different. Sometimes you fill out a form online. Sometimes it's a phone call. Sometimes it's email. Sometimes it's in person. Every place is going to be different. And the way that you do it is you call your county clerk's office, and under the Open Property Request Act, that is what it's called, OPRA, Open Property Request Act, you are allowed this information of public records. So call up your county clerk's office and you can ask them for all of these properties. They might not have all of them, but they will have at least one or two of these, right? Some places don't have tax delinquent. Some places don't have probates, which is fine. Get as much as you can from them, go to the next county and get more. And now you have free lists. Usually and typically it's free. There have been some areas where they'll charge you for printing it out for you. They'll charge you for the paper that they printed it out for you. But for the most part, the actual record itself is free. Third one is vacancies, and usually the favorite to everyone, a list of properties flagged abandoned and vacant. The reason that this is so great with public county records is a lot of places, if you have a vacant and abandoned home, you have to actually declare it with the county. You have to go in, sign a form and say, hey, this property on 123 Main Street, it's vacant. You sign the form and they keep it on file. And now you just have access to this information that not everyone is going to go through and get. So highly, highly recommend. Fourth one is pre-foreclosures, also known as list pendants. The homeowner has been served with a notice of default. These are the people that have not paid their mortgage, have not paid their taxes. They're falling behind and they are going to the bank is going to come and take it back. That's really it. Now, I don't know about other places, but here in Jersey, it's a little bit easier to get pre-foreclosures, and I'll show you guys how to do it really, really quickly. So let's say we're going to do Union County. We're going to do Union County Sheriff Sales. Simple as that. Union County Sheriff Sales. We're going to go on this right here, and guess what? We just got the properties. Let me minimize this real quick. We just got the properties.
A lot of
504 Compton Terrace and Hillside. Here's the owner, Frank S. Brand. Same thing. You can go on.
Pissed off at you for what you're doing right now, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm putting it all out there. This is the freeway, guys. If you guys aren't doing it, there's really no excuse. There really isn't. Like, I know that funds becomes people's biggest excuse. Like, I don't have the money to spend on softwares and systems, and I get it. But you're able to do this manually. You're able to do this with very limited funds. So for this one right here, the address is 1504 Compton Terrace in Hillside. There's the owner. Guess what? You can use True People Search and do the exact same thing. Figure out who the owner is. And now you have someone to call and potentially reach out to. Guess what? This list is huge. It is huge. If you call every single one of these homeowners that are in pre-foreclosure, I bet you one person is going to be interested. If not, guess what? There's a lot more counties to go after. If you delete this right here, this is a hack too. Hold up. You got all these counties to go after.
Nah.
All of them. Union County didn't work, go to Essex. Essex didn't count, go to Cape May County, Camden County, Burlington County. If you call every single pre-foreclosure on this list and you don't have someone that's interested, I don't even know what to say at that point. I really don't. But simple as that.
I hope people realize the magnitude of what you just put out, dude. Are we recording this? Yeah, all right, good. So what I didn't know we were gonna go over this, but what basically she's telling you guys is she just showed you how to, in the lamest terms, cut out all those investors that go to the sheriff county auctions with cash to buy these houses. The idea is that you catch those sellers months before the auction, at a point where pressure is on, decision making has to be quick, and if there's any potential in there, you're gonna get it. You're gonna poke at it. Amazing tip. I mean, I hope some of you guys put it to work. And just so we're clear, excuse me, every county around the union has these records. Every county in the U.S. has auctions, and by law they have to put out announcements, and these websites do exactly that. So the information that you're seeing there, it's available literally everywhere in the U.S. Good luck with it. Amazing tip, dude.
Google search. In terms of public county records, it's like one of the questions is, well, if it's out there, why aren't people using it? Well, it's not the easiest to really deal with. So public county records can sometimes come in the worst format possible. Many wholesalers won't go that extra step of taking these lists, putting them into an Excel sheet, skip tracing it to get the phone numbers, and then calling it. So here's an example of one that is from the public county's office. It's code violations in Paterson, New Jersey. Let me see if I can just increase it just so you guys can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it well, but it's all handwritten. This is a file. This is a PDF file that they sent to me. It's all handwritten. If you guys can see this first one, I don't know if it's 55 or 33 Church Street. Next one is 245 Park Ave. And you can see the nature of the complaint. So this one is rodents. This one is bad odor. This one is a dog bite. I probably wouldn't target dog bite, but I'm definitely going to target the no heat, maybe rodents, no heat, and no H2O. So no hot water either. So I'm going to target these for sure. Same process. Get the address, True People search, or if you make a list big enough, use a software. It won't be that expensive. Especially if you're using like Wholesale Discord, it's not going to be that expensive to skip trace a full list of, let's say, 100, 200, and now you have 200 people to call. If you want to go the manual route, absolutely fine. Take that address, plug it in, and call. Take that address, plug it in, and call, and repeat as many times as possible. But that's public county record way. Let me just minimize this. All right. Next thing I'm going to talk about is softwares. So the way that most wholesalers start is actually with softwares, right? You guys probably heard of PropStream, probably heard of Batch Leads, probably heard of Privy, probably heard of Flipster, probably heard of Realty Track, and I think now is PropWire just came out as well. These are all softwares that do the exact same thing. They provide you with data. They provide you with leads. They provide you with access. And they're great, right? Only issue is they're a little bit saturated, right? Everyone's using the same lists, everyone's using the same software, everyone's pulling the same lists. But it works. Don't get me wrong. We close a deal. One of the deals that we actually did together, one of our first deals down in Atlantic City, was from Batch Leads. It was a deal straight from Batch Leads. So I know these works. It's just a matter of reaching the homeowner first. It's just a matter of being the person that the homeowner remembers the most, right? Us wholesalers, us investors, whatever you want to call yourself, are doing the exact same thing, right? Maybe some are thinking a little outside the box, but we're all doing the same thing. We're contacting homeowners. We have the same spiel, the same script. We're saying the same things to these homeowners for the most part. But the person that actually ends up locking up the property is the person that calls at the correct time, the person that calls when the homeowner is actually interested in selling. So if you're using these softwares, keep in mind, follow-up becomes very, very important. If someone says maybe, if someone says, I'm thinking about it, but not right now, you should be following up as much as possible, because if they're thinking about it now and you don't call them in a month, 2 months, but let's say I go ahead and call them that month that they actually are interested, I'm the one that's going to close up the deal, even though that you explained the entire process to them of cash, of no title, no paying closing costs, none of that. You explained that entire process, but they told you we're going to wait a little bit longer and you forgot to follow up. I'm going to have it easy because I'm going to call them nonstop and I'm going to call at the right time and have them lock with me, right? So if you're using these softwares, if you use even public county records or driving for dollars, really the focus of this is follow up. Really follow up. But these are all the softwares out there. A lot of them offer free trials. So if you are low on funds, again, all of these mostly offer free trials. PropStream is like 7 days. I think if you click on this, it sends you straight to the 7-day free trial. Let's see if it works. Yeah, 7-day free trial. Batch Leads has like 500 free leads. Realty Track, I don't know if they offer one, but you can always reach out, right? It doesn't hurt. Reach out to them and say, hey, I'm interested in using it. Is there any way that you guys can offer a free trial or something that I can kind of test out before I pay for a subscription? Because don't get me wrong, this gets expensive. This one's like $99 a month. Batch Leads is like $139 a month. Pervy is another $100 a month. Flipster is $100 a month. Realty Track, I'm not 100% sure. I think it falls between $70 to $90 a month. So this is something that you want to test before you actually invest in. So,
excuse me. Which one do you say is the best in your opinion?
I'm just going to that. So when we first started out, we were using these, right? PropStream, Batch Leads. We all had an account with them. But we also realized that a lot of the data is similar, and we were doing things in bulk that it just made sense to figure out where their source was from, right? Where are they getting their information? Let's kind of cut the middleman and go directly to them. And that's exactly what we did. And that's why we actually created Wholesale Discord. Wholesale Discord started off because of leads. It started off as a way to share the cost with you guys. We were buying in bulk, but we weren't using it. So just like, if we can share it and kind of cover half of our costs, then we'd be able to be profitable and as well share with other people, same tool in like a cheaper price point. So let me show you guys the one that I would recommend. And I might be a little bit biased, but I've used all of them. So I know how they work, and I know that the data is important, quality is important. So I wouldn't recommend something if I'm not 100% sure about it. So if you guys go on leads, right on Wholesale Discord, you're going to come across these right here. Let's see if it pops up for me. Ready to call leads. So we have absentee owner, vacancies, free and clear, and pre-foreclosure. Those are my 4 favorite lists to go after. They're the ones that are typically more motivated. Free and clear is a little bit different. Free and clear is more for the realtors. It's more for the people that are targeting subject to seller financing because the homeowner has paid off their house. But absentee, vacancies, and pre-foreclosures are the most motivated, and they're probably the list that you're going to target the most. So when we created Wholesale Discord, it was like, okay, so we have all these. Why don't we just get more leads, get a cheaper price point, and then just try to maybe sell it to people at a cheaper cost? Now, if you go on PropStream and Batch Leads, you're going to pay $99 a month, and you're going to get leads. You're going to get about 10,000 leads, right? 10,000 leads. You get to export them, but guess what? They don't come with phone numbers. So you're paying $99 a month just for access. And then you're going to pay another $1,200 for skip tracing because it's 12 cents per lead, right? So if you're going to get a list of 10,000, they offer you 10,000 a month. You're going to skip trace all 10,000. You're going to come across about $1,200 if you skip trace all of them. Wholesale Discord is going to give you a fraction of that cost, and they're going to skip trace it for you. We get the phone numbers for you guys, which is completely insane because no other software is going to get you the phone numbers with your list. So 500 leads, $50. It comes with the phone numbers, and it's separated by mobile and landline. So mobiles are separated for you to do text blasting. Landline are separated for you to actually start cold calling for them. Let's talk about the 10,000. The same as PropStream would offer you a month, $4.99. For PropStream to skip trace 10,000 leads, for Batch Leads to skip trace 10,000 leads, you're looking at about $1,200 for PropStream and then about $1,400 for Batch Leads because it's 14 cents for Batch Leads and 12 cents for PropStream. Wholesale Discord is going to give you a list in any area that you want, any zip code, county specific, state specific, zip code specific, and they're going to skip trace it for you, and it's going to be $4.99. Literally half the cost of any other competitor out there. Now, don't get me wrong. PropStream and Batch Leads are amazing. They work, right? But we're all getting the same data and we're charging you half of it. So for me, common sense, I'd go for the half off one, but to each their own. And if you love PropStream so much and you love Batch Leads so much and you think that's the route you want to take, go right on ahead, but maybe don't skip trace with them and skip trace with us, right? You don't want to get our leads completely fine. Why don't you use our tools and get the phone numbers? If skip tracing is going to cost you 12 cents, 14 cents with prop stream and batch leads, why don't you skip trace on wholesale Discord and get the phone numbers, same quality, same data for a fraction of the cost? You want to skip trace all 10,000? $4.99. So for skip tracing, if you are going to use prop stream batch leads, if you're driving for dollars or public county records, you're going to need phone numbers. You can skip trace with us. You upload your list, just need literally a name and an address. That's it. And we'll get you the phone numbers and we'll separate it from mobile and landline. And we'll send you an Excel sheet in literally 6 to 12 hours. Straight to your email, and you'll get a text to remind you, hey, it's in your email. So remember to call. You don't want it to just get stuck in your email. You want to call the list. There's so many people that actually purchase lists and purchase skip tracing, and they leave it in their inbox. They don't open it. They might open it to check it, look at it, but they never make a single call. And that's the true waste of money, because you're so close. You started you really started. You made the move of actually purchasing something to get you started. You got a list, you're ready to call, but you haven't made a call yet. And I see it so many times, especially with the mentorship group. I've been able to see it.
Woo, I know that was a lot. I know it was a lot of knowledge. I know it was a lot to kind of fully wrap your heads around. But trust me, there are so many ways to find deals out there that don't involve softwares or paying $100 a month. And yes, that does make things quicker. And yes, it makes things easier. But a lot of people that start wholesaling real estate are very low on funds. I'm the biggest example of it. When I first started, all I did was drive for dollars and call people manually and use True People search. So I'm a big believer in getting your first deal with very limited funds, because I've done it before. When I closed my first deal, that's when I actually started investing in softwares and systems, and that's what I want you guys to do. Get your first deal first and then invest in these softwares and systems. But if you have the funds and you're willing and able to invest in yourself, then yes, please go ahead and pay for these softwares, pay for these systems, and make your job a lot easier, especially if you know that you want to wholesale real estate. I just want to leave you guys with a message before I end this. Wholesaling real estate is easy in steps, right? We know, find a motivated homeowner, lock it up, find an investor that's going to buy it for more than what we got it for, right? The steps seem simple, but the process itself does get a little bit difficult, and you can burn yourself out rather quickly. And I know how that feels, and I know that it's a struggle sometimes. You lose motivation, you lose that fireness in you, but I want you guys to know that it happens, right? Take a break, stop for a second, but go back on it, right? Wholesaling real estate is a numbers game. I'm going to repeat it. Wholesaling real estate is a numbers game. The more people you reach out to, the better chances you're going to get a yes. So if you're not calling enough people, you're not going to close a deal. And I know it sucks, and I know it's hard, but you have to do it. What can $10,000 do for you? What can a $15,000, $20,000 assignment deal do for you? It can change your life, because it absolutely changed my life. So please stop giving up. Invest in yourself. Do it for yourself. It's insane. I see a lot of comments, a lot of DMs of people that just, they just can't do it anymore. They give up too soon. And I've seen people that have been in the business longer than me. Someone knew about wholesaling 7 years before I did, and they weren't able to do something with it. I started 2.5 years ago, and I was able to come to this point where I'm closing continuous deals, opening other businesses, and investing in other real estate strategies. I'm not special. If I can do this, truly, anybody else can. I have nothing special about me. I'm literally just an average person that went to school, had no real estate knowledge and no funds, but I was able to close my first deal and invest it and scale the business, and I know everyone else can too. So if you want to start wholesaling real estate, this is your channel. I show you guys absolutely free. Linked in my bio are free resources, free Discord groups, everything that you need to start wholesaling, and I can't wait to see you guys in this journey.